This is Professor of Medicine, Desiree Dubinet, the man who left America to find freedom. He's no longer a man.
Don't die tomorrow. Don't die of fright.
Today we're talking again about deficiencies, and one of the greatest deficiencies that we have today is that 95% of Americans are deficient in fiber in their diet. This is a grave problem, that's why I put a little grave here.
Fiber is one of the most needed life elements, life forces what our body needs. We need fiber to restore hormones, nutrition, and all the needed vitamins. We need fiber to be able to fight diseases, build up our immunity, and to be able to defend ourselves against all the viruses, bacteria, cancer.
Fiber feeds the bacteria in the bowel that make the hormones, serotonin, GABA, dopamine, oxytocin, many more hormones. And if you don't get the fiber, you'll get mental disease, as well as colon cancer, diverticulosis, appendicitis, hernias, varicose veins, diabetes, arteriosclerosis, allergy, obesity, inflammatory bowel disease, cancers, all different types of cancers, because we really need the fiber. And the research has showed us that the best diet is a whole plant food rich in the fiber. You'll lose weight at night because your body is breaking up the fiber. You can lose weight. It's amazing. Now we're going to prove to you that you need fiber with a little video. To the gut flora, the bowel flora, and balance that. But we have to learn a lot more about our bowel flora and our needs for fiber.
Your microbiome is nourished by meals like this, rich in soluble fiber, also referred to as resistant starch. Soluble fiber can't be digested by your body, but instead becomes food for your gut bacteria. Most starch is easily digested. Starch is dissolved in the small intestine and then absorbed by your body, providing you with energy and nutrients. The remaining non-digestible portion is called resistant starch or soluble fiber. The soluble fiber continues its journey through your gut and arrives at the large intestine. We see that the soluble fiber has become exposed to the healthy bacteria of the gut microbiome. This species of bacteria specialize in breaking down soluble fiber. This breakdown process provides the bacteria with the fuel they need to survive. As they use the soluble fiber for energy, they release small carbohydrate molecules. The neighboring bacteria feed on these carbohydrates. As the bacteria feed, they excrete even smaller molecules as waste. One of the final waste products is called butyrate, an energy source for your body. As the butyrate builds up, it is absorbed by the large intestine. The presence of butyrate encourages blood to flow into the vessels of the large intestine, keeping the tissue healthy. If your diet includes enough soluble fiber, these cells will use butyrate as their main source of energy. Here, we can see the molecular surface of one of the intestinal cells. The surface is covered in special proteins that actively pump butyrate molecules into the cell. Once inside, they can be harvested for energy. In addition, butyrate has other benefits. Intestinal cells are sensitive to DNA damage caused by toxic foods and artificial ingredients. This cell's DNA has been damaged, resulting in a mutation. More damage could accumulate over time as the cell divides, which could lead to colon cancer. But a steady supply of butyrate allows the damage to be more easily detected, and the cell can activate a suicide program in response. Because the damaged cell destroys itself, it can't progress to form a cancer. A starved microbiome is unable to protect you from cancer. By eating foods rich in soluble fiber-resistant starch, you can nourish your microbiome and improve your health.
When bacteria digest fiber, they produce short-chain fatty acids that nourish the gut barrier, improve immune function, and can help prevent inflammation, which reduces the risk of cancer.
The fiber that we're talking about comes from the cell walls of the plant cells. Animal cells have a soft membrane. When you eat meat, it's more easy to digest. You don't get that fiber. The fiber comes in from the cell walls of plants. And we need to have the whole cell, the whole plant. We have to get the whole plant foods. But our society has decided to remove many of the cell walls. Like in the juice, apple juice, orange juice, they removed the cell walls. You see, they removed that. Now with smoothies, we can get back the cell walls. And we get that fiber that comes from the cell walls. With flour, they removed the cell wall from the flour. They removed the cell wall from the sugar. So all of these processed foods have now become low fiber and thereby problems. We need to get good whole plant foods so we can understand more about all of the benefits that happen from whole plant foods. When you don't get enough fiber and you take in sugar, you can get bad bacteria that will take over your brain.
Signals from stimuli are converted into tiny electrical pulses. These pulses propagate via synapses onto the afferent neuron of the vagus nerve. Vagal neurons carry the sensory information to the brainstem, linking the signals generated inside the small intestine to the brain. The neuropod cell connection with the vagus nerve serves as a conduit for food in the gut to influence brain function within seconds. This connection is also a potential portal for gut pathogens to access the brain.
Now we can see and one can understand the mechanism of how this bacteria, through the vagus nerve, can take over the brain. And the sugar-fed bacteria will make you crave the sugar, crave antibiotics, but antibiotics also feed it. And this will create a problem that lowers your IQ, lowers your memory, makes it unable to deal with stress. You cannot make the different hormones. And the bad bacteria take over your brain, make you crave the food that feeds them, not the food that feeds you. And whole foods with fiber, whole plant foods, are the answer.
Pharmacology fact: to use synthetic anything is an insult to the body. Anything synthetic is an insult.
Schrödinger had proven that we need negative entropy. And this is what we need, that life force, the life force that we get from vegetables. And many of our patients just don't like vegetables. Well, what do?
I can't eat veg, they give me gas. If you feel that way, you have to work your way through it. Switch your lifestyle, switch your meals.
A little bit of veg, start off a little bit, then work more and more.
Drink more water, work on your digestion, belly breathe.
You have to be able to get the vegetables. You need the fiber.
Turn on your metabolic process.
You have to find spice. You got to find ways to cook it, prepare it.
Find the flavors you love.
If you don't like vegetables, it's because you haven't had them properly cooked.
Or properly spiced.
You can't live on pizza and hot dogs. Pizza is not a vegetable.
If you love pizza, find a way to eat vegetarian pizza.
We have to get fiber into our diets. And you know what?
The future is whole plant food.
If you don't eat your vegetables, this guy's going to make more movies.